grow up poor. By the time I'm 23, I've made $1 million. This is how it's done. I'm a real estate mogul. I'm retired. And in that moment, I realized everything I needed to realize to become the #1 agent in my entire market. People don't wake up one day and say, I want to sell a house for no reason. Something's going on in their life. Why has no brand new agent ever made $1 million with GCI in your very first year? I'll tell you why. Maybe this one will get us to $1 million. Maybe this one will get us to $1 million. None of them will get you to $1 million within a year. So that's what I vow to do until the day that I die, is to help agents learn the principles that I learned to build my business. They're going to make more money over the next decade than they've ever made any decade prior, or maybe any decade after. The market's going to crash. 31 consecutive months of positive year-over-year national home prices. So think about this: more transactions, higher prices, same commission rates, selling them faster with less competition.
What's up, everybody? What you're about to watch is the biggest speech I've ever given in my life. 5,000 RE/MAX agents, Las Vegas, R4, baby, let's get it. And this is a full circle moment for me, because once upon a time, I was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. So this one's near and dear to my heart. Here's what I told them: the next 10 years will be the most profitable decade in history for agents. And I back this up with facts. More profitable than the 2000s, 2010s, more money than agents have ever made. I hope that gets you excited, okay? But only the agents in the top 10% of producers will be the ones who make all this money. And I want any agent watching this to be part of that 10%. I want you to understand that any of you can be, right? It's 100% your decision to put the work in. The only thing holding you back is you, not the market, not your lack of expertise, not your lack of connections. None of that matters whatsoever. The only thing that matters, and I want you to really hear this, is to understand the principles of top producers and put them into practice as quickly as possible, okay? I believe that this 15 minutes could change everything for you. And I'm going to leave a few gifts for you in the description. I hope you realize how badly I want this for you. I hope you enjoy.
That's a good guy. RE/MAX, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, make some noise if you guys are awake this morning. Oh, okay, you are awake. I was wrong. Hey, nobody sells more property than RE/MAX. Make some noise if you're excited to be with RE/MAX. Yes. Hey, if I haven't had the pleasure, I'm Ricky Carruth. I'm going to teach you today some of the most game-changing principles that I learned in my career as an agent that helped me go out and make $10 million in GCI. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. First thing I want you to know, or first thing I want to say, is that this is really a full circle moment for me. It was around 16 years ago that I was sitting right where you are right now, and I had the biggest dreams in the world. I wanted to be the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Alabama. Roll Tide. What we got? Way up there. I wanted to get that Diamond Award. That Diamond Award seemed so impossible at the time. And I wanted to come right here, dream to sit right here on the stage and tell you guys my story. So I want you guys to know, regardless of where you are in your career, at the very top, somewhere stuck in the middle, broke, or maybe even homeless. That's not funny, bro. I want you guys to know that I was exactly where you are right now, regardless of where you are in your career. And I want you to look at me like you should look at me, and you should say, if he can do it, if he made it, I know for a fact that I can make it. I grew up roofing houses with my father. I got in real estate when I was 20 years old. It was 2002. By the time I'm 23, I grew up poor. By the time I'm 23, I've made $1 million. And I thought, I'm everything. I'm the man. This is it. This is how it's done. I'm a real estate mogul. I'm retired. I had 2 houses for no reason. When I woke up in the morning, I walked in my garage and I had to choose, am I going to drive my Cadillac CTS-V? Again, no reason. Or am I going to drive my gold Hummer? Gold. Why did I have a gold Hummer? This is how it's done. Like, I made it. Like, I'm riding dirty. I'm rolling up straight to the office. They're going to see me coming. And then 2008 hit. I lost more than everything. I was beneath. I went bankrupt. I had to give away my houses. I had to give away my cars. A friend of mine gave me their beat-up Ford Contour, like a 94 model or something like that. Couldn't get in the driver's door. I had to go in through the passenger seat and like wiggle in. Had to put a boombox in the back playing a CD so I could listen to music. Anybody want to know what CD that was? Outkast. For 10 years. 10 years. People ride with me 10 years later, they're like, it's the same exact song. It's 10 years ago. I had to ride the brake pedal just a little bit when I passed cops at night because the running lights didn't work. It's not funny. You been there? I was living in that car. Everybody's like, why didn't you go back to your mom or dad? Mom lost everything and moved to Nashville. Dad lost everything and was living in an RV. I was living in that car. And this is the moment that I realized everything that I needed to realize about becoming the #1 agent in my entire market. It was a late December night, 2007. I remember because it was close to Christmas. I was in the back of that car in a Walmart parking lot in Foley, Alabama, with a dirty blanket covered up. And I was reading a book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And shout out to Jeff Olson. You guys get excited about the weirdest little things. I looked at my phone and it was 1:58 in the morning. I'll remember this very vividly. And in that moment, I realized everything I needed to realize to become the #1 agent in my entire market. And even though I was homeless, sleeping in a car with a dirty blanket, in my mind, I was already, in that moment, the #1 agent in my entire market. And I want to tell you guys the principles that I realized in that moment. There's an overarching principle that I realized because I did it wrong the entire time, and it's the reason why I lost everything that I had. I realized that I had to value relationships with people over transactions and money, or I would never build a massive business. See, when I got into business, I was wired the way that we're all wired when we get into business, like close deals, get listings, set appointments. That's not how you do business. That's not how you build a massive business. I had to realize it's about people over the properties, people over the money. So I thought, wow, I can use this principle and I can build my business short term. I can close deals now, but I can also use this to build a massive $1 million per year business. I realized this in a moment. In the short term, I had to flip. This is the switch that flipped. I had to realize that my job as an agent, and I want you to get this, is not to sell homes or get listings or set appointments. It's simply, and when I realized this, everything changed, to help people do whatever it is they already want to do. See, people don't wake up one day and say, I want to sell a house for no reason. Something's going on in their life. Selling or buying the house just fixes the problem they have going on in their life. When I realized, wouldn't it be great if people bought and sold homes from you and the whole thing was their idea? It's not a joke. When you understand that we're here, this is a service business and we're not here to try to get people to do stuff, we're here to just help them do what they already want to do. When I realized this, everything changed. My conversion rate shot through the roof. And I thought, I've got it. I'm on to something. So then I thought, okay, how can I use this same principle to build $1 million per year business? And so the only path, I capitalize only, because this is the only path to $1 million per year is And before I finish the sentence, I want to ask you guys, does anyone here know of or ever heard of a brand new agent that made $1 million in their very first year in the business? Yeah? Really? Okay. Be the first I've ever heard. And I knew there was going to be an anomaly at some point. I've asked probably 10,000 agents at this point. Have you ever even heard of someone? This is the first yes I've ever heard that made $1 million in their very first year. If it's such an anomaly, you have to ask yourself, why is that? Is that not a good question? Why has no brand new agent ever made $1 million in GCI in their very first year? I'll tell you why. There's not a lead gen activity that's going to get you to $1 million in a year. No lead gen activity. We move around from lead gen to lead gen. Oh, maybe this one will get us to $1 million. Maybe this one will get us to $1 million. None of them will get you to $1 million within a year. But any of them will get you to $1 million in 3 to 7 years if you compound the relationships that you meet through any lead gen that you decide over time. People that you meet year 1 have to remember you year 7. People you meet year 2 have to remember you year 7. Have to remember you year 10. Have to remember you forever. You have to have systems in place where anybody you ever talk to never forgets you. I built my entire $1 million business on people who were not ready yet. I closed deals I helped the people that were ready to go. But no, that's not where I made my big money. My big money was made by people who weren't ready yet and never forgot me until the day that they did decide to buy or sell. This is how you build a massive business. I took these principles and I hit my goal. I became the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama, 2014, 2018, 2019. And I was the #1 agent in my entire county for 8 years in a row. Out of all brokerages, all teams, as a single agent, doing 100 deals a year as a single agent, and people are like, yeah, right. You've been saying that for 10 years, but we still don't believe it. So I'd love to show people this slide. Screenshot from my MLS, the 8 years. There I am on top, 812 transactions, and I'm not showing you this to say, look at me, because I don't care. I'm showing you this because I want you to know that I don't lie. Now, when I went through everything I went through, sleeping in a car, doing all the things that I had to figure out, and I made it to the top of the mountain, I looked back down and saw a sea of struggling agents. And I said, God, I thought my calling was helping people buy and sell real estate all this time. But now I realize my true calling is to help these struggling agents. So that's what I vow to do until the day that I die, is to help agents learn the principles that I learned to build my business so that they can not only simplify their life, but have a quality of life. A lot of you work till 10, 11 o'clock at night. It doesn't have to be that way. You can make more money in less time if you understand the principles and efficiencies. So that's what I did. I went out, I wrote 4 books. I started speaking, writing, coaching. I built a top 2 or 3 personal brand in the entire world in the real estate coaching space. And I've spent time with some of the coolest business people on the planet. I'm telling you all this because I want you to think, if he can do it, if he can follow his dreams, if he can accomplish anything he puts his mind to, I know for a fact that I can do it as well. Guess what? It just takes time and visualization. Now, where's the market going from here? This is existing home sales going back to the early 90s. Something very interesting to note is that we never go below 4 million existing home sales. Therefore, rest assured, closings are going to happen every single day of your life by the truckloads, regardless of market conditions. Here's what you do. Build a business model that crushes it during a 4 million existing home sale market, and you never have to worry about anything ever again. Don't freak out when it goes there. No. It's going to blow back up, and guess what's going to happen in 8 to 12 years? Back down to 4 million for a while. What's very interesting about this chart is every time we have a housing recessionary period, we get down to 3 or 4 million existing home sales for 3 to 4 years, right? Early 90s. What happened right after the 3 to 4 year period of 4 million existing home sales? 2008, 3 to 4 years of 4 million existing home sales. Then what happened? There we go. Where are we at now? 3 to 4 years of 4 million existing home sales. Where do you guys think the market's going from here? My daughter can come in here and look at this chart and tell you where the housing market's going. She's 6 years old. By the way, she normally comes up before me and sings. So they couldn't make it this trip. What's that? Oh, yeah. They couldn't make it. They only gave me 15 minutes anyway, which I'm fixing to go like 10 minutes over, so we're good. Yeah, give it up. Give it up. I'm glad you brought up Whitley because she made a chart for you guys to show you where the housing market's going from here. The next thing, I really, really want you to hear what I'm fixing to say. This is what really matters to me. Over the next decade, you are going to make more money than you've ever made. Real estate agents as an industry are going to make more money over the next decade than they've ever made any decade prior, or maybe any decade after. That sounds like a clickbaity, you're just talking. No. We're going to have historic transactions over the next 10 years. Pent-up demand, population growth, and just sheer existing homes. There are more homes in the country right now than have ever been in history. We have more inventory. Inventory is everywhere, by the way. It's just not listed. Historic, thanks, Mom. Historic transactions and higher home prices. Do you guys realize that we just had our 31st consecutive month? Okay, think about this. The market's going to crash. 31 consecutive months of positive year-over-year national home prices. 31 consecutive. Prices aren't going down, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do more transactions at higher prices at the same commission rate. Guys, I was getting 2.5% or 3% when I got in the business in 2002. What do you get today? 7 and 3. That's a weird ratio, huh? Weird dynamic. I was up late drinking. He asked a question, say something. 7 and 3. It's like, Blue 42. Guys, companies have tried to replace agents. So many companies have tried to crush commissions. Lawyers have come in and tried to eliminate buyer agent commissions. We're getting the same commission rates in AI. We're going to sell, this is already happening. Do you guys realize what has happened just over the last 2 weeks with AI? The advancements in AI just in the last 2 weeks is insanical. Insanical. Technology is going to help you sell more properties in less time, right? And because of that, we're going to have fewer agents. I don't know what the agent count's going to go down to, but I can tell you the active agents are going to continue to dwindle. So think about this. More transactions, higher prices, same commission rates, selling them faster with less competition. And I would imagine you're with RE/MAX, you're going to be in the top 10% of the overall industry, so you're going to be the ones that actually capitalize on this moment. Now, a stat for you, just to make it real. 71% of agents right now have 0 listings. 10 years ago, 82% of agents had at least 2 listings. There's people back there. This gap between agents who are crushing it and not selling anything at all is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how do I become part of the top 10% of real estate agents? And that's something I'd love to help you with. Every day I read the Bible. Oh, give it up for the Bible. Every Sunday afterwards, I say, God, what's the message I need to give the industry today? And I sit down, I write it out, and I send out a Sunday agent devotional. Throughout the week, I send market updates every week on where the market is and how you can take advantage to become a top 10% agent. How many of you guys would like to start receiving those? Great. Here you go. While you guys are doing that, I want to ask you guys a question before I go. How many of you guys, and keep your hands up, want to sell real estate until the very last day of your life? Till the day you die. No, keep your hand up, keep your hand up, keep your hand up. Okay, everybody else, look around, look around, look around. This is what crazy people look like. I'm just kidding. You got to be crazy to be in this business. I know something's wrong with me. Here's my point. 99.9% of you guys did not raise your hand, which means this is not really what you want to do with your life. Yet here we are, spending 4 days, spending all kinds of money to get here to learn something that we don't actually want to do, ultimately. So my question is, why are you hesitating to succeed? Why are you not succeeding as fast as you can so that you can make the millions, so that you can go on and do the thing that you actually want to do with your life? Stop hesitating. And by the way, this is your moment right now that we're on the front end of the greatest run for real estate agents that we most likely will ever see. And honestly, after 10 years, we're going to want to go on and do something else with our lives, most of us. Squeeze this for every last drop that you can if you never hear me say another word. I'm going to give a shout out to Realty Co. I love you guys. Follow me on Instagram. God bless.